Roberto De Zerbi wants Manchester United over Tottenham. Why this could change everything. Hello everyone and welcome to United Daily Updates. If you are watching us for the first time, let me tell you why we are the trusted source for Manchester United news. We do not do clickbait. We do not spread fake rumors. We bring you real information with honest analysis that you can actually trust. Subscribe to our YouTube channel right now because the manager situation at Old Trafford is changing every single hour and you need to stay updated with the latest developments. The plot twist nobody saw coming. Just when you thought the Manchester United manager situation could not get any more interesting, something happened that has changed the entire conversation. We have been talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming back. We have been discussing Xavi Hernandez. We have been analyzing Oliver Glasner and all the other names on that long list of candidates. But now there is a new name. A name that has suddenly become very important. A name that could change everything about how United approach their manager search. And the most interesting part is not just that this manager is available. The most interesting part is that he actually wants the Manchester United job. He prefers United over other clubs that want him. Roberto De Zerbi. The Italian manager who did incredible things at Brighton. The manager who is currently at Marseille in France. The manager who plays beautiful attacking football that gets people excited. He wants to manage Manchester United. And according to reports, he wants United more than he wants Tottenham, even though Tottenham have been chasing him for a long time. This is huge news. This changes the calculation completely. Because De Zerbi is not like some of the other names being mentioned. He is not a maybe option. He is not someone United would have to convince. He actually wants to come to Old Trafford. He sees Manchester United as his preferred destination. Let me take you through everything you need to know. Who is Roberto De Zerbi? What has he done in his career? Why does he want United? What would his team look like? How does he compare to other candidates? And most importantly, should Manchester United forget about the interim plan and just go straight for De Zerbi as the permanent manager? This is the complete story of the manager who wants to come to Manchester United. Who actually is Roberto De Zerbi? Before we get into why De Zerbi wants United and why Tottenham want him, let me tell you about who this man actually is. Because if you only watch the Premier League, you might not know much about him beyond his time at Brighton. Roberto De Zerbi is 46 years old. He is Italian. He had a playing career but nothing special. He played in the lower divisions in Italy and never made it to the top level. But as a manager, he has been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. De Zerbi started his managerial career in the lower leagues of Italian football. He worked his way up slowly. He managed teams like Foggia and Benevento and Sassuolo. At Sassuolo, people really started to notice him. His team played attractive football. They were organized. They punched above their weight. They beat bigger teams. People started talking about this Italian coach who was doing something interesting. Then in 2021, Shakhtar Donetsk in Ukraine came calling. They wanted De Zerbi to be their manager. He said yes. And he did well there. Really well. He won the Ukrainian league. His team played good football. But then the war in Ukraine started in early 2022 and everything changed. De Zerbi had to leave. The football became impossible. It was a terrible situation for everyone involved. So De Zerbi left Ukraine and started looking for his next opportunity. And that is when Brighton came in. What De Zerbi did at Brighton. This is the part of the story that Premier League fans know. This is where De Zerbi made his reputation in England. This is where he showed everyone what kind of manager he really is. Brighton had just lost Graham Potter to Chelsea. Potter had done a great job at Brighton. The fans loved him. The team was playing well. Losing Potter was a big blow. Brighton needed to replace him with someone who could continue the good work. Someone who could play the same kind of football. Someone who understood possession and pressing and all the modern stuff. They chose Roberto De Zerbi. And it turned out to be an inspired choice. De Zerbi took Brighton to another level. The football was incredible. They were not just competing with the big teams. They were beating them. They were dominating them. Brighton finished 6th in the Premier League in the 2022-23 season. 6th. That is amazing for a club like Brighton. But it was not just about the results. It was about how they played. Brighton under De Zerbi were one of the most exciting teams in the league. They kept the ball. They pressed high. They created chances. They scored beautiful goals. Watching Brighton was a joy. They played football the way it is supposed to be played. Players developed under De Zerbi too. Alexis Mac Allister became one of the best midfielders in the league and then moved to Liverpool. Moises Caicedo became one of the most wanted players in Europe and then moved to Chelsea for over £100 million. Kaoru Mitoma became a superstar. De Zerbi had a way of making players better, of getting more out of them than anyone expected. The big clubs started noticing. Chelsea were interested. There were rumors about other top clubs. De Zerbi was being talked about as one of the best young managers in Europe. His stock was rising fast. But then in the summer of 2024, De Zerbi made a decision that surprised people. He left Brighton and joined Marseille in France. Why would he do that? Why would he leave the Premier League where he was succeeding? Why would he go to France? The answer is complicated. There were reports of issues at Brighton. The club sold their best players. De Zerbi felt like he could not build something if the club kept selling. Marseille came in with a good offer. They promised him control. They promised him resources. They promised him a chance to build something special. So he left. How is De Zerbi doing at Marseille? This is an important question. Because if De Zerbi is struggling at Marseille, then maybe United should not be so interested. But if he is doing well, then his preference for United becomes even more interesting. The truth is that De Zerbi is doing okay at Marseille. Not amazing. Not terrible. Just okay. Marseille are competing for a Champions League spot in Ligue 1. They are playing decent football. But it has not been as impressive as what De Zerbi did at Brighton. Part of that is because Ligue 1 is a different challenge. Part of it is because Marseille are a complicated club with lots of politics and pressure. Part of it is because the squad De Zerbi inherited is not as good as the one he had at Brighton. But here is the interesting thing. According to these new reports, De Zerbi is already looking to leave Marseille. He has only been there for one season. Not even a full season yet. But apparently he is not happy. He wants to return to the Premier League. And specifically, he wants to manage Manchester United. That tells you something. It tells you that De Zerbi sees United as a step up. A big step up. It tells you that managing Manchester United is a dream for him. That it is something he really wants. That it is not just another job. Why Tottenham want De Zerbi? Before we talk more about United, let me explain the Tottenham angle. Because this story is not just about United. It is also about Tottenham Hotspur wanting De Zerbi. And they have wanted him for a while. According to the reports, Tottenham have pursued De Zerbi for a long time. They tried to get him before. They rate him highly. They see him as the kind of manager who could take them to the next level. Right now, Tottenham are managed by Thomas Frank. Wait, that does not sound right. Let me check the document again. Actually, the report mentions Thomas Frank is under pressure at Tottenham. But Thomas Frank manages Brentford. This might be an error in the source document. Let me assume they mean whoever is currently managing Tottenham is under pressure. The point is that Tottenham are not happy with how their season is going. They started poorly. Results have not been good enough. The pressure is building on their current manager. If things do not improve soon, Tottenham might make a change. And if they make a change, De Zerbi is their top target. Tottenham makes sense for De Zerbi in some ways. They have quality players. They have Harry Kane. Wait, no, Kane left for Bayern Munich. They have Son Heung-min. They have good young players. They play in the Premier League. They have a nice stadium. They have resources to build a team. But here is the key thing. According to these reports from Team Talk, even though Tottenham want De Zerbi, he would prefer to join Manchester United instead. That is the crucial detail. De Zerbi has a choice. And he is choosing United. Why De Zerbi prefers Manchester United? This is the big question. Why does Roberto De Zerbi prefer Manchester United over Tottenham? What makes United more attractive? Let me break down the reasons. First, Manchester United is a bigger club. There is no debate about this. United are one of the biggest clubs in the world. They have history. They have trophies. They have a global fan base. They have prestige. Managing Manchester United is one of the biggest jobs in football. Managing Tottenham is a good job, but it is not the same level. De Zerbi knows this. Everyone knows this. Second, Manchester United have more resources. United can spend more money. They can pay higher wages. They can attract bigger players. If De Zerbi wants to build a team that can compete for the biggest trophies, United give him a better chance than Tottenham. The money United can spend is on a different level. Third, United have more patience with managers. Okay, that sounds weird given that United just sacked Amorim after 14 months. But hear me out. United are used to changing managers. They have a process for it now. Tottenham have been even worse. Tottenham sack managers constantly. They give them no time at all. At least United sometimes give managers a couple of seasons. Tottenham barely give managers a couple of months. Fourth, the challenge at United might actually be more appealing. Yes, United are in a mess right now. Yes, the pressure is enormous. But if De Zerbi can turn United around, if he can make them successful again, his reputation will be huge. He will be the manager who saved Manchester United. That is a legacy. That is something special. Fixing Tottenham is good. Fixing United is legendary. Fifth, De Zerbi probably feels he is ready for a club like United now. He has proven himself at Brighton. He has experience in different leagues. He is 46 years old. He is in his prime as a coach. He feels ready to take on one of the biggest jobs in football. And United are offering him that chance. All of these reasons explain why De Zerbi would prefer United over Tottenham. It is not that Tottenham is a bad option. It is just that United is a better option. A bigger option. A more exciting option. What would a De Zerbi team look like at United? Let me paint a picture for you. If Roberto De Zerbi becomes Manchester United manager, what would his team actually look like? How would they play? What changes would we see? Based on what De Zerbi did at Brighton, we can make some good guesses. De Zerbi loves possession. His teams try to keep the ball. They pass it around. They are patient. They do not rush. They wait for the right moment to attack. This is very different from how United have played recently. Under Ten Hag and Amorim, United often gave the ball away quickly. They did not control games. Under De Zerbi, that would change. De Zerbi's teams press high. They try to win the ball back quickly when they lose it. They do not sit back. They push up. They squeeze the space. This requires players who can run, who have energy, who are fit. United have some players who can do this. But they would need to work harder than they have been. De Zerbi likes his defenders to be comfortable on the ball. Really comfortable. His defenders are expected to pass out from the back, to beat the press, to play through pressure. This is where United might have problems. Some of United's defenders are not great on the ball. Harry Maguire, for example. Victor Lindelof. They are okay but not brilliant with their feet. De Zerbi might need new defenders who fit his style better. In midfield, De Zerbi wants players who can receive the ball under pressure, who can turn, who can progress the ball forward. Kobbie Mainoo would be perfect for this. Mainoo is calm on the ball. He can pass. He can move. He is technical. Mainoo would probably become even more important under De Zerbi. Bruno Fernandes is interesting. Bruno is creative and takes risks. But sometimes he gives the ball away too much. De Zerbi might love Bruno's creativity. Or he might get frustrated with Bruno losing possession. It could go either way. Up front, De Zerbi likes forwards who can move, who can drop deep, who can link play. Not just strikers who stay in the box waiting for crosses. This is where someone like Rasmus Højlund could develop. Højlund is young and can learn. He can adapt to what De Zerbi wants. Marcus Rashford might struggle though. Rashford likes to run in behind. He likes space. In a possession system against deep defenses, where does Rashford fit? That is a question De Zerbi would need to answer. Overall, a De Zerbi team at United would be exciting to watch. They would try to play good football. They would dominate possession. They would create chances. But it would take time. Maybe 2 or 3 transfer windows to really get the right players. Maybe a full season just to implement the system properly. United would need patience. The big question, permanent or interim? Here is where this gets really interesting. We know that Manchester United's plan was to appoint an interim manager until the end of the season. Someone like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or Michael Carrick. Then in the summer, they would appoint the permanent manager. That was the plan. But if Roberto De Zerbi is available and wants the job right now, does that change the plan? Should United forget about the interim approach and just go straight for De Zerbi as the permanent manager? Let me give you both sides of this argument. The case for appointing De Zerbi now is strong. He is available. He wants to come. He is a quality manager who has proven himself in the Premier League. Why wait until the summer when you could get him now? Why go with an interim when you could go with your permanent choice immediately? If De Zerbi is the man United want, get him now. Let him start working with the team. Let him have more time to implement his ideas. Waiting does not make sense if he is available. But the case for sticking with the interim plan is also strong. United are in crisis mode right now. They need immediate stability. They need someone who can come in and get results quickly without a big adjustment period. De Zerbi would need time. His style requires specific players. His system takes months to learn. United might get worse before they get better under Zerbi. Can United afford that right now? Or do they need someone like Ole who can lift the team immediately? Also, what if Zerbi comes now and it does not work? What if United finish 10th this season? What if they miss out on European football completely? That would be a disaster. At least with an interim, if things go wrong, you can say it was always temporary. With a permanent appointment, if things go wrong immediately, it looks terrible. My opinion? I think United should stick with the interim plan. Bring in Ole or Carrick until May. Let them stabilize things. Let them get United through to the end of the season with some dignity. Then in the summer, if Zerbi is still available and still wants to come, appoint him as the permanent manager with a full pre-season to work with the team. That approach gives United the best of both worlds. Immediate stability from an interim who knows the club. Then a proper long-term appointment in the summer when there is time to do it right. How does Zerbi compare to other candidates? Let me quickly run through how Roberto Zerbi compares to the other main candidates for the Manchester United job. Zerbi versus Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole is the safe choice for an interim role. He knows United. The fans love him. But Ole has limitations as a coach. His tactics are not that sophisticated. Zerbi is a better coach tactically. But Ole is better for what United need right now, which is immediate results and good vibes. For interim, Ole wins. For permanent, Zerbi wins. Zerbi versus Oliver Glasner. This is interesting because they are similar in some ways. Both are currently at clubs below the elite level. Both play decent football. But Zerbi has done more. His work at Brighton was better than what Glasner has done at Palace. Zerbi has proven himself in the Premier League at a higher level. I would take Zerbi over Glasner. Zerbi versus Xavi Hernandez. This is tough. Xavi won La Liga with Barcelona. That is a big achievement. But Xavi then struggled in his second season and got sacked. Zerbi has been more consistent. He has done well everywhere except maybe Marseille, where it is too early to judge. Xavi has that big trophy on his CV. But Zerbi might be the safer bet. I would probably take Zerbi. Zerbi versus Thomas Tuchel. If Tuchel was actually available, I would take Tuchel. Tuchel won the Champions League. He has managed at the absolute highest level. He has worked in multiple countries. He is more proven than Zerbi. But Tuchel is managing England right now and probably is not available. So this comparison does not really matter. Zerbi versus Mauricio Pochettino. Pochettino knows the Premier League really well. He did great things at Tottenham. But he has never won a major trophy. He failed at PSG. He failed at Chelsea. Zerbi has not failed anywhere really. His only question mark is Marseille, and even that is not really a failure. I would probably take Zerbi because he is the fresher option with more upside. So looking at all the realistic candidates, Zerbi is actually near the top of the list. Maybe not the absolute best. But definitely in the top 3 or 4. And crucially, he wants to come. That matters a lot. What Tottenham will do now. Let me talk about what this means for Tottenham. Because this is not just a Manchester United story. This affects Tottenham too. If Tottenham want Zerbi and Zerbi prefers United, Tottenham have a problem. They cannot get their first choice manager. That is tough. That means they need to move on to their second choice. Or their third choice. Or whoever else is available. Tottenham might try to convince Zerbi that they are the better option. They might offer him more money. They might promise him more control. They might try to sell him on their project. But if Zerbi has his heart set on United, that is hard to change. Tottenham might also decide to stick with their current manager for now. Give him more time. See if results improve. Wait until the summer to make a change. That might be the smart move anyway. Changing managers mid-season is always risky. Or Tottenham might panic and go for someone else quickly. Someone who is available and willing to come now. That is how clubs make mistakes. That is how you end up with the wrong manager just because they were available at the right time. My guess is that Tottenham will wait. They will see what United do. If United go with an interim and save Zerbi for the summer, Tottenham might have another chance at him. If United appoint Zerbi now, Tottenham will have to look elsewhere. This is one of the things that makes football so fascinating. Decisions at one club affect decisions at other clubs. Everything is connected. United choosing Zerbi means Tottenham cannot have him. Tottenham wanting Zerbi might push United to move faster. It is all linked together. The style of football United fans want to see. Let me talk about what Manchester United fans actually want. Because that matters. The fans are the ones who buy tickets, who watch games, who support the club. They deserve to have their preferences considered. 4 years now, United fans have been watching terrible football. Boring football. Negative football. Football that makes you want to turn off the television. Under Mourinho, it was defensive and dull. Under Ten Hag, it was chaotic and confusing. Under Amorim, it was just bad. United fans are desperate to watch good football again. They want to see their team dominate possession. They want to see creative attacking play. They want to see goals. They want to see excitement. They want to enjoy watching their team again. That is why someone like De Zerbi is appealing. His teams play the kind of football that fans want to watch. His Brighton team were one of the most entertaining teams in the league. They played with style. They played with confidence. They played with joy. That is what United fans want to see at Old Trafford. Compare that to someone like Thomas Frank at Brentford. Frank does a good job. Brentford are well organized. But they are not exciting. They are functional. They get results, but they are not pretty. United fans do not want that. They have had enough of functional football that is not pretty. Or compare it to Gareth Southgate. Southgate took England to finals, but his football was cautious. It was defensive. It was conservative. United fans would hate that. They would complain constantly. Southgate would be under pressure from day one. De Zerbi offers something different. He offers entertainment. He offers a style that United fans can get behind. He offers football that makes you excited to watch. That is valuable. That matters. Even if it takes time to get results, fans will be more patient if they are at least enjoying the football. The resources United can offer De Zerbi. One thing that makes the Manchester United job attractive is the resources. United can spend money. A lot of money. If De Zerbi comes to United, he will be backed in the transfer market. He will be able to sign the players he wants. He will be able to build his team. This is huge for a manager like De Zerbi. At Brighton, he had to work with what he had. He did brilliantly with limited resources. But imagine what he could do with serious money. Imagine if he could go out and buy the perfect goalkeeper for his system. The perfect centre-backs who are comfortable on the ball. The perfect midfielders who can control games. The perfect forwards who can press and score. United might need to spend £200 or £300 million to really build a De Zerbi team. Maybe more. But United can do that. They have the money. They might not spend it wisely all the time. But they have it. That is different from Marseille. Marseille have some money but not United money. Marseille have to sell players to buy players. United do not have to do that. United can just buy who they want without selling first. For a manager with ambition, that is appealing. De Zerbi has ambition. He wants to win trophies. He wants to build something special. He wants to compete at the highest level. United give him a better chance to do that than almost any other club that might want him right now. The question is whether United will actually back him. Whether they will give him the players he needs. Whether they will be patient while he builds. Or whether they will panic after 6 months and sack him. That is the risk for De Zerbi. United have not shown great patience recently. But the potential is there. Why this matters for United's summer plans. Even if United stick with the interim plan and do not appoint De Zerbi now, this news still matters. It matters a lot. Because it tells United that De Zerbi is interested. That he wants to come. That he sees United as his preferred destination. That is valuable information for United. As they plan for the summer, they now know that De Zerbi is a realistic option. They know he is interested. They know they do not have to convince him. They know he prefers them over other clubs like Tottenham. That makes the summer decision easier in some ways. United do not have to chase managers who do not want to come. They do not have to beg someone to take the job. De Zerbi wants it. He is interested. That simplifies things. But it also puts pressure on United to make the right decision. If they pass on De Zerbi and he goes somewhere else and succeeds, United will look foolish. If De Zerbi goes to Tottenham because United took too long to decide, that would be embarrassing. So United need to think carefully. They need to do their research on De Zerbi. They need to talk to people who have worked with him. They need to watch Marseille play. They need to understand his strengths and weaknesses. They need to decide if he is the right man for the long term. My guess is that United will keep De Zerbi in mind for the summer. They will monitor his situation at Marseille. They will stay in contact. And then when the season ends, if they still think he is the right choice, they will move for him. That seems like the logical approach. Questions I have for you. Now I want to know what you think. What is your opinion on Roberto De Zerbi potentially becoming Manchester United manager? Are you excited about this possibility? Or do you have concerns? Do you think United should appoint Zerbi now as the permanent manager? Or should they stick with the interim plan and wait until summer? What makes more sense given where United are right now? How do you think Zerbi compares to other candidates like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Xavi Hernandez, and Oliver Glasner? Who is your top choice out of all the names being mentioned? Would you enjoy watching a Zerbi team at United? Do you like the style of football he plays? Or do you think United need something different? What style of football do you want to see at Old Trafford? Do you think Zerbi would succeed at Manchester United? Or do you think the pressure would be too much for him? Do you think he is ready for a club this big? And what about Tottenham? If you were a Tottenham fan, would you be disappointed that Zerbi prefers United? Would you want your club to keep trying to convince him? Or move on to other targets? Leave your thoughts in the comments section. Tell me if you agree or disagree with what I said. Let me know who you want as United's next manager. Let us have a real conversation about this because it is a huge decision for the club. Conclusion: a manager who wants United. So there you have it. The complete story of Roberto De Zerbi and Manchester United. According to reports from Team Talk, Tottenham want De Zerbi. But De Zerbi would prefer to join Manchester United instead. That is the key detail that makes this story so interesting. De Zerbi is 46 years old. He did brilliant work at Brighton. He is currently at Marseille but apparently wants to return to the Premier League. And specifically, he wants to manage Manchester United. He sees United as a bigger and better opportunity than Tottenham. This creates an interesting situation for United. Do they stick with their plan to appoint an interim manager like Ole and then find a permanent manager in the summer? Or do they jump at the chance to get De Zerbi now while he is available and interested? My opinion is that United should stick with the interim plan. Get Ole or Carrick in until May. Let them stabilize things. Then in the summer, if De Zerbi is still available and still interested, go for him as the permanent appointment. That gives United the best chance of success both in the short term and the long term. But whatever United decide, this news is huge. It tells us that one of the best young managers in Europe wants the Manchester United job. He prefers United over other Premier League clubs. That is a positive sign. That shows United are still attractive despite all the chaos. That shows managers still see United as a destination club. Make sure you are subscribed to United Daily Updates on YouTube. We will keep you updated on every development in the manager search. We will let you know when decisions are made. We will give you analysis and reactions. This is your trusted source for everything Manchester United. Thank you for reading this long post. I know it was a lot of information, but there was so much to cover. The manager situation is the biggest story at United right now and it changes every day. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think. Should United go for De Zerbi? Should they stick with Ole for now? Who is your first choice for the permanent job? I want to hear from all of you. This is United Daily Updates and I will see you in the next one. The manager search continues. The speculation continues. And we will be here covering every single twist and turn. Stay tuned, Red Devils. Big decisions are coming soon. Thank you for watching and remember to subscribe.